Welcome back to Sports Federation TV. We're chatting sport. We chat how sport is played. Right now we're joined in studio by two young ladies. And we're going to chat a bit about badminton. Hello, Stacey.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thanks, and you?
Jade, you well?
Yes, very well, thank you.
Tell us a bit about badminton. What is badminton? How's it played? Where is it played? Any one of the two of you?
Well, currently in Cape Town, we play badminton. The headquarters for badminton Western Province are in Access Park in Kenilworth, so it's very central for everybody to get to. It consists of a racket, shuttles. Currently is the fastest racket sport out there, so yeah, Stace?
Yeah, I think currently, or quite recently, one of the records have just been broken. I think the record speed for a jump smash is like 491 kilometers.
Sure.
So it's pretty fast.
But one of the two of you?
Oh, no.
Not yet, no.
Oh, okay. So explain how badminton works. Is it the 3-set, 5-set encounter? How does it work? Because most people don't understand the game.
It's currently a 3-set basis. They did change it from years ago. It used to be you could only score a point on your serve. Now it's you can score a point off either person's serve, so that the game is faster. Not that it was really slow, it could take a couple of hours to finish a game. So it is best of 3 sets to 21 points.
Which is the same as squash, and table tennis used to be on the same type of format.
Yeah.
You could only win on your own serve.
Yes.
Or win a point on your own serve for that matter.
But now it's anyone's game, and it gives a lot more scope for the underdogs to actually take a game that necessarily wouldn't really be theirs on paper. So it's made things a lot more exciting and a bit more competitive as well.
So are you guys based at John Tyers in Access Park, or are there other clubs as well other than John Tyers, or does everybody play there?
Most of the clubs are based there. They may train the odd other facility, but there aren't too many. Most of them, and all the league matches are in John Tyers.
Yeah, there's lots of clubs around Cape Town, and they all have their own facilities to train in throughout Western Cape. However, majority of the leagues get played at Access Park, John Tyers Hall, yeah.
How many courts is there?
4 courts at the moment.
And how often are leagues played?
At the moment, once a week. Each club gets to train once a week or as many times as they are able to. But league nights normally, first league is on Wednesday nights. I think second and third league is on Thursday nights or Tuesday nights, and it just kind of carries on week by week during league season, during end season.
And how long is the league generally? 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months?
They change it as they see. I mean, if there's time and there's shuttles, we'll keep playing.
But normally about six weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
How expensive is it for me to get involved in badminton?
It depends. It depends if you're wanting to take it seriously. As a beginner, anyone can go and get a basic quality racket, not too pricey, within the limits of about between 400 and 600 Rand for like a basic racket. The better you get, the more competitive you get, the higher you reach. You then start looking at over 1,400 up to 2 grand sometimes.
For a racket?
Yes, yeah. So it can be quite costly. That's why majority of the top players are sponsored, so that at least those costs are looked after.
And a racket like this, what would something like this cost? Is this now a graphite racket, or is this generally a steel racket? What do you normally play with? Graphite.
Graphite, yeah. That's the Colton. I'm not quite sure about that range of rackets. However, if you're looking at a racket like this, it would be around 1.4, 1.6, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how often do you need to restring it? Not very often?
Quite often.
It depends as well. It depends how often you're playing. It could be that you're using like a lower quality string that breaks easily. It could be that you've hit the shot and it snapped, and then we've got people in place to do a restringing and
right there.
After you. Hey, not right there, but there are. There's 1 or 2 good guys that do the restringing.
Like your husband?
Yes, like my husband.
So you don't pay for restringing, clearly?
No, I've got a good there.
A good deal going. And shuttles, tell me a bit about shuttles. What are the different types? I see there's 2 different types.
Those are the plastic ones. They're used mostly for juniors and beginners. You don't get quite a nice power hit out of it. You can feel that there's a big difference, but they do last a lot longer. The feathers are really expensive, and they break quite easily. You'll go through 3 or 4 of them easily in a match.
In a match?
Yeah.
Sure. So it becomes quite expensive then for
Yeah.
the league organizers to manage all of that.
Yeah,
I think
well,
that's also why they shortened the game
Okay.
yes.
to 21 instead of best of 3, when you could only win off your serve.
So you'd
Shuttle
use
saver.
like 2 bags in a match.
Yeah.
But if you're a beginner and you want to get started, it's not expensive because you can start with the basic rackets and use your plastic shuttlecock and take it from there. And just as you get better and stronger, obviously you're going to want better equipment. But for beginners to get started, it's really not that bad.
Tell me a bit about the two of you. I mean, the two of you have traveled the world almost, the whole globe, playing badminton.
Not just yet.
Not just yet, but you've been across a range of different continents. As a result, only of badminton?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been very fortunate to travel so much with regards of playing the sport that's our passion and being able to compete internationally with it. I don't know myself if I would have been able to travel to all those countries without badminton.
Definitely not.
But yeah, we've played for many years. We started when we were both 11, 12.
Yeah.
And we started out playing together as a doubles combination when we were really small. And then we got split up as a combination to try various combinations separately. And now we're back together and we're playing doubles again. So hopefully coming back, going to make a comeback. Yeah.
So what's the highest achievement you guys have reached as a pair?
We
Winning
won,
nationals.
yeah, we won nationals 2 years ago. And then unfortunately last year, Stacey went through an injury, tore ligaments in her ankle.
Yeah.
So
out
we
for
were
quite a while.
Yeah, she was out for quite a while and she's back now. And last year we had to give it a bit of a miss, but this year we're wanting to reclaim that trophy.
It's always good to be
We
the
hope,
underdog
yeah.
and
Yeah.
come back and fight for it.
Yes, definitely.
Stacey, what's it like playing in a competition where you've been together for such a long period, and now still is there still a good team dynamic? Do you socialize outside of off the court or just during match play?
Yes, we do. You train with people a couple of times a week, and I mean this year it's been more us organizing our training sessions more than a fixed thing like it was the previous years. So we're always talking on a group chat, and we're always trying to organize when we can train, and sometimes we have a few social vibes as well, so we are quite close. I mean, you're going to spend a couple of nights every week, whatever, with these people, so I mean, we've got a really, really good dynamic.
And in terms of communication, I mean, how does a doubles work? Does one play on one side, one play on the other side, one forward, one back? I mean, those are kind of dynamics you need to be thinking about on the court.
I wish we knew that answer. It's a lot more technical than people see it. When you watch it, you think, oh, okay, they rotate nicely. It's a lot more technical. There's so many things. If you play a certain shot, certain areas of the court are yours, some areas are your partner's. So it depends. You just got to know each other.
Yeah.
You just got to play it. They say it takes about 2 years with your partnership to really get to know each other and figure out how they play as to where you should be and stuff. But yeah, I wish we could give you an answer to that, but it's just kind of getting to know your partner and working with it.
Because I mean, it's always interesting. Do you prefer forehand or backhand, and that determines which side of the court you play on, or not really?
You don't have time, unfortunately, to have a preference. You just got to move. You get used to your partner, what shots they're used to playing, so you can almost anticipate where they're going to hit and sort of follow where you think
The return will be.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they'll see you move as well, and that'll, sort of make them move to.
Rotation.
Yeah. So that's why you're just always moving.
And you're always covering each other in
You have
the
to.
event.
Yeah. There's no I in this combination. It's you play together or you're going to lose together. Yeah.
Other than badminton, what other type of training do you do, or is it only court-specific type training, Stacey?
I haven't done much.
Okay, after you come back from your
normally.
ankle injury.
I'm just going to use my injury as an excuse forever. We normally do a lot of repeat sprints, so high intensity and very low break in between. We also do the bleep test as a test quite often, but mostly sprinting and things like that.
And gym work? No gym work?
Yes. Yeah, you have to. You have to do your weight training. You have to have, badminton has got so many aspects to it. It's speed, it's agility, it's strength, it's power. You've got to cover all aspects of training as well. So therefore, speed for sprinting, speed and power. You've got to do your weight training. You've got to keep your muscles very strong. And also not just strong to also prevent any further injuries and stuff. So definitely weight training, a lot of running, cardio. it's everything in one. It is, I know people say it's very cliche to say it, but it is the best sport because it combines everything together.
Plus, if you're not stretching, you're going to pull up an injury.
And flexibility,
Yeah.
yes.
As soon as you get into the game situation, it's not like a training where, oh, okay, I won't get there. In a game, you just want to, and you'll throw everything out there. And that's when injuries happen.
Because you go at all costs.
Yes. So that's when that helps, because then that doesn't happen as much.
Yeah, but other than off the court training, what type of drill? How do you do drills? I mean, do you just have people on the other side smashing the shuttle over, and you just play it that way, or do you have specific drills kind of that make it happen?
There are more specific ones. Like we often will do 2 against 1, just so that the one person basically has less time than they would normally in a singles match. Or for us doubles, sometimes we play doubles against 3 people, just so that it's quicker and you're not going to get through. You're not going to hit through the people on the other side. It's going to be longer rallies and it's going to be more grafting.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of hard work, unfortunately.
Yeah.
How would you define the difference between a forehand using a squash racket versus a tennis racket versus badminton? I mean, there's a distinct difference.
Yes.
We're lucky that our rackets are much lighter. So we have more of like a whip, whereas tennis would be the full arm. I know squash is also
More wristy.
wrist, so it is a lot more similar, but I think their rackets are also a lot heavier and they'll play flatter, where we can go high or just play it softly.
But also tennis, you play everything down below, where badminton, you everything up here.
Yes.
So we can also play down below, especially on a defensive shots, but majority of our shots are up high and flat up here. Whereas if you go and play tennis up here, you're going to break your arm off. So
Because I mean, it's always difficult to try and get the shuttle up
Yes.
if it's dropping.
It's
I
with the
find-
wrist. It's all in the wrist.
on the
It's
wrist.
all in the wrist.
Yeah.
Is that the secret?
Just flick it.
Stacey, I mean, you've traveled a bit. Where would you say was the best competition you've had internationally?
Oh wow. Wow.
Just in a general sense.
It'd probably be one of our the bigger tournaments we've gone to in Asia. Couple in Japan, China, Malaysia, also Indonesia. Those are just so big, and you see like the real top guys there
Yeah.
that we don't really get to play against very often.
And how would you rate our level of competition to international standard?
In Africa,
Yeah, in Africa, firstly.
in Africa we are top at the moment throughout our age groups, which is great, and that's
Nice.
very important for us to be top in order to get funding. So at the moment we normally meet either Mauritius or Nigeria in the finals. Close, Seychelles comes close sometimes, but with regards to international, it's a big difference because we don't do it as a living. A lot of international players, this is their job, this is what they do. They get paid to do this, where we have our jobs we need to attend to, and this is our passion, hobby. And when we go abroad, they kind of look at us like, hey, don't you do this full time, you know?
Yeah.
So we always give it our best, and we always try and give them a run for their money. But at the end of the day, we need to also step back and say, you know what, this is our passion and our hobby, not our profession. Yeah.
And then how do you balance that kind of lifestyle? Because now you've got a full-time job, a family, work, and still badminton. Do you train morning, train evening? How does it work? I mean, that's always a very tricky part of life.
It is very difficult. Mostly I work full day. I'm also studying at the same time and trying to train in the evenings.
So that's
Yeah.
finish at like 11 o'clock at night, 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then still have to study, I suppose.
Sometimes.
And your side? Same?
I think I've got it a bit easier. I've got my own fitness studio, and
Okay.
it's connected to the badminton hall in Western Province. So I'm there from 5 o'clock in the morning until 8, 9 o'clock at night. And any time I get in between, I'll be on court, or we've got our specific times that we train. Then you've got the family and the husband and all that. So you do have to juggle quite a few things. But I think I'm fortunate from my side that I'm so close to everything, and I'm involved in the fitness industry. So it's not too bad.
At least you can balance it
At
because
least I
you're
can
on site.
balance. Yeah, exactly. And if I'm not, I can pretend I was on court.
Stacey will find you out. That's the downside. Playing nationally, Stacey, is it worth going up to play in Gauteng as a Western Province player, or not really, competition-wise?
Yeah, we have to normally play those smaller tournaments that are hosted in different provinces, and that's what gives you your national seeding and grading for the bigger tournaments like we have coming up next week with our nationals. So if we didn't play a couple of tournaments together, we wouldn't really have a decent seeding in the draw. So that's sort of how the system works.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Stacey, thank you for your time. Sadly, we're going to exchange seats for a bit.
Not a problem.
When we come back, we'll catch up with badminton, and Sean will come chat to us. See you now.